Light the fire that will spark the flame? No, that's not it. Spark the fire that will burn the forest tree? How does this damn thing go? Oh, hey, greetings, Star Warriors. Welcome to the Outer Rim. I'm just trying to recall how that stupid catch line from The Last Jedi goes. I think I'm going to have to go to Google. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, Google is your friend. I'm back. And here's how it goes. We are the spark that will light the fire that will burn the First Order down. Whatever happened to May the Force be with you? Are we getting rid of May the Force be with you? That too? What is this long-winded, blowhard, idiotic line of dialogue supposed to mean? I mean, other than the obvious that they're gonna beat the bad guys. I haven't heard anybody repeat that, which is why I couldn't remember how it goes. You know, May the Force be with you used to be enough. It used to be a great catchphrase from Star Wars. Now I don't even remember if they said it in this film. Who said it? Someone in the comment section who remembers, tell me if they said that line in the movie and who said the line. Because I can't remember at all. But anyway, I'm not going to be reading an article in this video. I'm just going to start, talking to you guys for a little bit about random things, I guess. Recently on one of my videos, I made the statements that, I can't remember my exact statements, but they were not good statements about the upcoming Solo movie. I'm pretty sure I made clear that I wasn't going to see it, and why. And I probably bashed it a lot, and one of my listeners was kind enough to let me know that, that's not fair. You should judge this movie on its own merits. Just because The Last Jedi was bad doesn't mean that Solo will be bad. And this is true. Well, kind of true. It's not entirely true. But, there is some truth to it. And in a fair world, I would agree that it would be totally true. But here's the thing. We don't live in a fair world. Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, and anyone really associated with them doesn't really care about what's fair, So my response to them is not to care about what's fair for them. What we're dealing with here is a certain kind of extremist people. A movie like The Last Jedi doesn't get made by accident. The things that happened in that movie, they didn't happen by accident. Okay, Rian Johnson can play dumb all he wants and act like he didn't know what the response to that movie was going to be. But that's bullshit. That's utter bullshit. You'd have to be the most tone-deaf person in the world not to understand what the things that happened in that film were going to cause to happen from the audience. What we're looking at is people playing the political game. They don't care what we think. They care about their political agenda, and anyone who does not fit within that political agenda, fuck them. That's their opinion. You don't try to destroy the past, which is the reason why this franchise is successful in the first place, I might add. You don't try to destroy that without knowing what it's going to cause from the audience. So they did it on purpose. They didn't care. They have a political agenda. It's more important to them than making money. I don't know how Disney executives will respond to that. They're silent at the moment, but right now nothing has changed. No one's fired, no disciplinary actions as far as I know. So my response to them, when they tell me to fuck off, is to throw it back in their face. That's just the kind of person I am. But not everyone is that way. There are people who will look at the world in a way where no matter how unfair it gets to them, it seems like they still want to treat everyone fairly. and they will no doubt go and watch Solo. They will no doubt go and watch Episode 9. My take on that is fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm not going to give you that opportunity. For me, the boycott is on and in full force. But I was talking about people who will give Disney a fair shake. They're going to go continue to see Disney films because they like Disney. Recently, I was on YouTube. I still watch videos about The Last Jedi that, people who liked it and disliked it make. And in my sidebar, I saw a video that looked like my video, just from the thumbnail. I thought it was my video. But I looked closer and realized that someone else had, they'd commandeered the thumbnail that I made for one of my videos. And so I was interested in seeing what the video was about and what their viewpoints were. And one of the main topics in the video was there were three people. Each of them had their own perspective. One of the guys was kind of like me. He kind of had it with Disney Star Wars. The other two hated the film as well, but they were more lenient. Okay? And at a certain point in the video, the guy who was more like me asked the other two whether or not they thought that Rian Johnson should be fired. And after very little consideration, the other two both concluded that no, Rian Johnson should not be fired. At this moment, I can't remember them giving much of a reason why he shouldn't be. And if you were to ask me that question, the obvious answer would be, of course he should be fired, and I hope his career burns in hell. But yeah, I mean, I look at it in very simple terms, I think. I'll compare it to the Mona Lisa. I'll compare Star Wars to the Mona Lisa for a second. So, Star Wars equals the Mona Lisa. Let's say you're the curator at a museum, and you want to hire people to come in and make sure that the Mona Lisa is well taken care of. It's not going to fall apart. It is in good repair, as good as can be expected. That's what you want to hire these people to do. And they do a good job for a while, relatively okay. They keep things together. The job is done. Then you get a new guy that comes in. And after he comes in and does his job, you come back to the museum, and you see that someone's drawn a mustache on the Mona Lisa. The way I see it is, if someone's pushing a broom for you and they do a bad job, maybe you give them a second chance. They're not really costing you any money. If you're Disney, and Rian Johnson has literally cost you towards $700 million. Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy both, but we all know that Kathleen Kennedy's not going to take the fall for this. It's going to be the loudmouth Rian Johnson who gets disciplined, if anyone is disciplined at all. This one guy who's a nobody. I mean, as far as Disney's concerned, I'm sure they're not loyal to Rian Johnson. Why would they be? Even if he didn't cost them $700 million, why would they be all that loyal to this guy? You can find dozens of different directors to do the job he did. He's not pushing a broom. He's working on a billion-dollar franchise. And he damn near lost them $1 billion. I don't see any reasons to feel sorry for him if he gets fired. He was well paid to deface Star Wars. He was well paid. He's set. All he has to do is invest his money wisely, if that's at all possible for him, and he'd probably never have to work another day in his life. But I'm sure he'll be able to find directing jobs. I mean, I think he writes and directs his own stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I read something about him, doing his own projects. So I'm sure he'd find some way to make his own movies. But I can't really see someone else, some other big studio, hiring him to take over another well-established franchise in the future. Why would they? Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Like, subscribe, share this across the galaxy. And as always, if you're listening, you are the new rebellion. 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 You are the new rebellion.